Ja, hur intresserad är du av att veta det mesta om 858, Arctics nya, ja, eller egentligen den största nyheten för hela året? Ska du kolla nu, Troy Halvorson snackar lite om den. Programmet presenteras av Mora Motorcenter, Svedea snöskoterförsäkringar, norrländsk skadehantering och Sveriges nöjdaste kunder 5 år i rad. SnowRider Hillcross.
Tjenare, då är vi i West Yellowstone. Kolla, Micke Olofsson försöker gömma bort sig här, men vi ska prata lite om nya Arctic Cat 858 motorn. Och då är det ju lika bra att vi pratar med ingen mindre än Troy Halvorson. What's your work?
I'm the director of product strategy for snowmobiles for Arctic Cat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you know the engine pretty well.
I know the engine pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an all new engine. It's a 85 millimeter bore with 75.6 stroke.
Yeah.
So we chose to keep it as an 858 with our new engine, so that we could keep the same diameter pistons as the 800.
Yeah.
But we increase the stroke.
Okay.
So we have better low end torque, more horsepower, cleaner emissions. What also we were able to do is to lower the engine in the chassis even further we integrated the engine mounts into the bottom of the crankcase, because all new crankcase, all new crankshaft, cylinders. On top of that, we utilize V-force reeds.
Yeah.
We've moved the intake intake reeds 12 millimeters closer to the driver to give us more room for our pipe, for our steering post.
Yeah.
And then also a cleaner or better flow into the engine.
Yeah.
And then we also, what's special about this new engine is a new exhaust valve system.
Yeah, they look like nothing I've seen before.
Yes, it's like, for example, each side. Previously, there was 30 pieces that made up the exhaust valve system. Now it's only 15 pieces per side. And it's one valve for all 3 ports, for the main port and the 2 auxiliary ports.
Yeah.
And then also we have a nice tight match to the piston, so we get less chance of entrapment of emission, or I
used to say less pieces in something is usually less problems.
Less simpler assembly,
and
for the customer.
And for the weight, less parts.
Weight is
less
down.
weight.
And this is a push-pull system.
Yeah.
So when the valves are open, it opens it. But when you close it before, there's a spring that always would try to close it. So you're pulling it open.
Okay.
So this is a push-pull. So it's very, very exact, very fine-tuned to give us the better power down low, in mid-range, and then peak RPM.
So how long time in manufacturing or developing?
Engines usually take at least 3 years to develop.
Okay, and then some testing and...
Yeah. Looking at, when we start the process, it's prototypes and machine parts, and then we get to where we tool the parts, and more testing, and then obviously in the winter times is our best period of testing. So we always have to make sure we have all our parts and our engines ready to go when we're ready to go testing for winter.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we still do a lot of summer testing, but on the dyno and different things like that. But best testing is in the snow.
It's not like the Japanese. I remember in the 80s they were driving in sand dunes.
Yes. Not too many snowmobiles in sand dunes. So, but with the new engine, we also have a new exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
And this is a stainless steel material.
Okay.
So we were able to go to a thinner gauge to make it it's just as strong, but now it's even lighter.
Okay.
So we've taken 3 pounds out of the weight of the engine compared to a 800. and we've lowered it, got it closer to the rider to get that low center of gravity, mass centralization.
I can say that feels when you drive it.
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
You know, one thing that I've always said that I've thought after riding a lot of different snowmobiles is you ride some snowmobiles, you drive this snowmobile.
Yeah, this one you drive.
Yeah.
And it's even not just with the handlebars, but with your feet.
Yes.
When everything...
Yep, with your body and positioning, just very reactive. And,
yeah.
So...
But I see there's sensor, exhaust.
Yep. We use an exhaust pipe temperature sensor on the exhaust pipe, and we also have one on a gas temperature or EPATS on the muffler too, on the resonator. So
it looks like the same part number.
yes, same.
Yeah.
Same.
0627033.
Could
maybe?
be,
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah, actually, I think it's a 330. Actually, it's a new
330. Oh,
yeah.
What are they doing? What's that doing and what's that doing? Different things,
It's
or
measuring the exhaust gas temperature.
okay?
And then it's adjusting the fuel accordingly, so that we burn the fuel most efficiently. That helps our emissions and helps our run quality, gives us the most horsepower. And then, you know, with the new catalyst, we have the new exhaust system, so it's a very nice tight seal right here.
Yeah.
So no chance of getting moisture in the airbox through the deep powder snow. You can see here's our hood assembly with we take in our air on the sides here, which is good, but if you're in super deep powder, then we also have auxiliary areas here to take air out on the inside in here, as well as right here.
Yeah.
And then also new with this catalyst hood assembly, it's not only the air box, but you can fit a spare belt right in here too.
Yeah.
So there's no place to worry. You don't have to worry about storing your belt in a bag or anywhere.
That's good.
Easy get to, and then we have a nice little glove box to keep things nice and warm right here, which is very good.
Yeah. Perfect for goggles or gloves or...
Yes. Yep.
And then you have a 12-volt...
Even a bottle of water will fit in there very nicely.
Perfect.
And then you can have a nice little warm drink.
Perfect. Inte O'boy inte Björn. Nej.
Only water. Yeah. And we have a new drive clutch.
Okay, yeah, see.
So this is new for the 858. This is a steel spider.
Yeah.
Very close here, but if you have to take anything apart, you just move over this, and you can take the belt off if you need to. We have a wrench for this. It spreads the sheaths, but it's been very durable. Have not had any troubles with belt durability.
Programmet presenteras av Mora Motorcenter, Svedea snöskoterförsäkringar, Norrländsk skadehantering och Sveriges nöjdaste kunder 5 år i rad. SnowRider Hillcross. Can we ask something? The first prototype for this one, who looked like this, when was that? How many years ago? Or the first chassis, or the first ride on the Catalyst?
The first proto was probably way back in 2019, where we took a mountain sled and we kind of did some of the different things to take weight out of the sled, and then repositioned whether it's skis, rear suspension, drive shaft location. So there's a lot of things that we've learned on previous models that we were able to incorporate into this new chassis. But you know, when we started developing it was kind of right before the pandemic.
Okay.
Where we really started getting some protos that started looking more like what this was going to be, and then we had to take a little bit of a break because of the pandemic. But we had people doing work whenever they could, you know, that maybe They weren't supposed to because they're supposed to be at home.
Oh, okay. But how does it work anyway? Does it work that also that you can have a product that's 100% ready, but you wait because the economics in the world are a little bit down or something? So you take the to be sure you maybe wait 1 year to release it or something?
No, I would say we would never really want to do that, just because we're always anxious to get the next best thing to our customers.
Yeah.
So that's why when we first were developing this, we were developing with the 858, and the engine wasn't quite ready yet because of trying to get tooled parts during the pandemic. It was very hard, and it delayed the engine development part of it. But we knew how important it was to get the new chassis out, so we put the 600 engine, which was an engine that was already developed, in first, continually working on the 858, so that we came out with the catalyst in model year 2024 with the 600, but also knowing that the 858 would follow the next year.
Okay.
And it was only because we needed a little more time to get the engine ready, because it was hard getting tooled parts from our suppliers.
So how does it work when you make a new engine then? You do all the work on the drawing board first, and then you manufacture parts to dyno it and try it out and so on. So at the first the first prototype of an engine, does that really look like a prototype engine, or is it cast parts and everything, or is it machine parts?
Machine part,
okay.
yeah. We'll
One-off machine parts.
Yep, we'll machine parts out of billet. But prior to that, there will be a lot of discussion on, like with the 858, there was discussion on what's the right bore stroke ratio that we wanted to go for.
Okay.
We know we wanted more horsepower, but we didn't want to get bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've had bigger engines in twin cylinders. You know, remember we had the 1000.
Yes,
it's a very big motor. Yep. It was slow revving, but it had good horsepower.
Yeah.
This engine with this platform needed to be quick acceleration and lightweight. Okay. So that we wanted to make the not go so big with the bore, so that we could keep the cylinders a certain size. Yeah. But then we just increased the stroke to get us the horsepower that we needed.
But the mathematics of an engine, does that always like comply with reality? Does it always, or can you be surprised sometimes with some?
Well, there's a lot of smart people that know two-stroke engines that are involved in it. Like Greg Spalding, helped us work on this engine. He was part of that when prior to him retiring, and guys like Don Eide, who ran the engine department. They've learned about two-stroke engines for the last 50 years. So every new engine they're learning, or they're taking ideas from before, and the technology continues to get better and bigger. People learn more. They can do more. So we are happy to start off from our laydown engine, because we've been using that engine configuration since model year 2002 gray sled. And we like it because it can get down into the engine into the engine bay as low as possible. But crankshaft design, crankcase design, piston profile, the exhaust valve system, which is entirely new. Those are all stuff that guys either have a lot of experience, or a lot of new engineers that come on and they bring new ideas. So it's kind of a combination of old and new.
Yeah. There's always trends in snowmobiling and so on. Do you think you ever will bring back the 3-cylinder two-stroke?
I don't think so. Everything's always getting smaller and tighter, and a tighter package. To do a 3-cylinder two-stroke, it would be very challenging to get in it and fit the right envelope.
But it would be like a typical Arctic Cat move to do that.
It would.
I would buy one.
Would it? Yeah, I would buy one.
All right, let me get my paper.
I would buy one immediately then. So, but the idea, isn't it nice? Because all the revival with the 3-cylinders and everything, two-stroke. Before you could buy a 02 Thundercat in Sweden for $1,500. Now it costs $10,000.
Yes.
Yeah. They are so expensive, and the SRX and everybody, all those sleds are like, they are not better now. but you remember something in the
good
sound.
old times.
Yes,
Yeah, everything works better way back until you ride those against the new stuff.
Yeah.
But still, you know, there's nothing like a 3-cylinder, 2-stroke sound.
No. So
that when I first started at Arctic Cat, I was a product engineer for the ZRT and the Thundercat.
Okay.
And it was challenging always, you know, fitting 3 pipes under a hood is not easy.
Yes.
And then back then it was obviously carburetors, so you had to get the carburetors in the air intake boots to all line up, and there was a lot to it. But I think that would be the biggest challenge, is trying to fit 3 pipes.
Yes, I know.
It's kind of
there's no meaning to have a 3-cylinder engine and 1 pipe.
right. Yeah.
You must have the 3 pipes.
Yep.
But that Thundercat 1000, that engine, you know, that's a Norwegian guy who has a turbo on it, who have like 600 horsepower in it with a stock crank.
Yeah. They're durable, very durable.
Yep, that's a real good thing. Can you?
Those are our test guys.
Yeah.
They thought something was wrong.
Okay. So you can take that with you anyway. Maybe can we please say maybe 3-cylinder?
So you say there's a chance.
Yeah, it could be a chance. Okay, we'll see. But you said you started with this in 2000. No, not started. You had the first like prototype in 2000.
Yeah, we've been talking about it way before that. Right after, you know, even after the Pro Cross was released, and we had our new 800. There was always knowing that we were going to have another engine bigger.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of stuff that was done in the engine shop on getting ideas on how to get to this engine. So that started a long time ago, but...
So that means that you know what's coming after this. So if we wrestle you down here and maybe tickle you, you can tell us everything.
I have to I got a little pill in my pocket.
Oh, okay. So you kill yourself, yeah. Understand. But
Cyanide.
Yeah, cyanide. But we can wrap this up and say that maybe 3 cylinders. No, just kidding. But the idea is good.
The idea is good. I'll bring it back to,
yes,
to the
do
guys
that.
and see what we can do.
Absolutely.
Just for you.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have anything more to add or ask?
No, I was just curious of the prototype they're working on now, but cyanide.
You're threatening to kill yourself, so we don't want to do that. So, okay.
Yeah,
Or I'd have to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Programmet presenteras av Mora Motorcenter, Svedea snöskoterförsäkringar, norrländsk skadehantering och Sveriges nöjdaste kunder 5 år i rad. SnowRider Hillcross,